Assalamu alaikum. In today's lesson, we're going to study some organizational words. These words are useful when it comes to organizing your essay and making it easy for your reader to understand the message that you're trying to convey. The focus of today's lesson is on conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are like words like furthermore, however, consequently, and so on. Let's take a look at these words and understand how to use them correctly in a sentence without making any grammatical mistakes. Conjunctive adverbs are usually used to link independent clauses or even sentences or paragraphs. If you use them after periods, they create a simple sentence. Look at this example, Mustafa was sick. And then you have a period here. Consequently is a conjunctive adverb. He skipped class. So you have a simple sentence here and a simple sentence there. That's it. But if you use a semicolon, like this example, that's a semicolon. Then you have a compound sentence because you have two independent clauses. Mustafa was sick. He skipped class. So together they make one big compound sentence. Pay attention to the capitalization. If there is a full stop and then you use a conjunctive adverb, you have to start with a capital letter. On the other hand, if you use a semicolon, you don't use a capital letter. This is important. Okay. Number two, how to use them. Conjunctive adverbs can be used in a variety of ways. Look at this example. We have however here, which is a conjunctive adverb. Ali is a nice guy. However, his brother is awful. So you could use a full stop and then the conjunctive adverb starting with a capital letter and then a comma, and then you continue with the next sentence. You could also use a semicolon. Ali is a nice guy, and then you have a semicolon, conjunctive adverb, and then a comma, and then you continue. You could use it after the subject. Ali is a nice guy, full stop. His brother, comma, however, is awful. You could also use the conjunctive adverb at the end sometimes. Ali is a nice guy, full stop. His brother is awful, however. Okay, but for the purpose of this course and to make things easier for yourself, I suggest you just stick to the first way and the second way. Use it after a full stop, right? Use it after a full stop like that, or use it after a semicolon, but don't use this one, don't use that one, because this doesn't work with all the conjunctive adverbs. Some conjunctive adverbs cannot be used at the end of the sentence. So to be safer and to make sure that you're not making mistakes, just use the first method and the second one. Okay, let's move on to the next item. Types of conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are usually classified according to the meaning. So some of them are used to add information, like the word in addition. Some are used to contrast ideas, like in contrast. Some are used for cause and effect, like consequently. Some are used for listing. You have a list of items. You say first, second, third. Providing examples, like when you say, for example, and finally, to provide an explanation. Let's look at each one of them and take some examples to understand how this works. Okay, adding information. I'm going to teach you three words: moreover, furthermore, and in addition. Of course, there are other words that you can use, but like these are the ones that I would like to teach you in this course. Moreover, it's used in a simple way. You have the first sentence, cigarettes are expensive, moreover, semicolon, and then a comma, and then you move on to the next sentence. But then again, pay attention to the fact that if you wish to replace the semicolon with the full stop, you can do that, no problems. So one more time, cigarettes are expensive, moreover, they are harmful to your health. Furthermore is used in the same way. You just have a first sentence and then you use a full stop or a semicolon, and then you continue with the word furthermore and then the other sentence. In addition is also used in the same way. It can also be used like if you have a clause, you put the clause and then a semicolon and then the word in addition and then a comma and then the other clause. But the word in addition can be used in other ways as well. So let me teach you about some of these ways. Okay, you can use in addition and then a verb plus ing, a gerund, and then you continue the sentence, and then the other sentence is after a comma. You have to use a comma, as you can see here. Let's take some examples. Look at that. Cairo is expensive. In addition, it's one of the worst places to live in. Okay, so this is pretty easy and pretty straightforward. But we can also use in addition in a different way. You can use it after a full stop here. Care is expensive, and then full stop. In addition, it's one of the worst places to live in. But the part that I would really like to teach you is use a verb plus ing. In addition to being expensive, Cairo is one of the worst places to live in. Okay, more examples. The company has reduced its prices and improved the quality of its products. How about we replace the word and with the word in addition? We can do that. So we say, in addition to reducing its prices, we have the verb plus ing. The company has improved the quality of its products. Or you can use in addition in a normal way. You can say the company has reduced its prices, semicolon, in addition, comma, it has improved the quality of its products. Let's move on. Contrasting words. When you're talking about differences, when you're talking about two opposing ideas, the words that I would like to teach you in this course are nevertheless, nonetheless, however, in contrast, on the other hand. All of them are used in the same way. You have a sentence like this one. You will have a sentence and then a full stop and then one of the contrasting words and then a comma and then the other sentence. Or, as I said before, you could have a sentence and then a semicolon and then one of the contrasting words and then a comma and then you continue with the other sentence. So they are very simple and very easy to use. All you need to do is to just study these words, remember them, and try to use them when you write. Moving on to the next item, cause and effect. The words that I would like to teach you are as a result, consequently, therefore, and finally, accordingly. Okay, and they again are used in the same way. You just have a sentence, a full stop, a semicolon, and then one of these words, and then a comma, and then the other sentence, like the example. Cairo is one of the most crowded cities in the world, full stop. Again, you could replace it with a semicolon. As a result, comma, something needs to be done to reduce the pressure on public transportation. Okay, this is easy. Listing, if you want to list some items, you say firstly, secondly, thirdly, finally, but use them after a full stop, not a semicolon. They are different from the other words. So make sure that you use a full stop and then firstly, and a comma, and then you continue, not a semicolon with this one. Also, not a semicolon with these words. So if you're providing examples, use, for example, for instance, one clear example, don't use a semicolon before them, use a full stop. Finally, if you are providing explanation, you can say to explain, to illustrate, in other words, to clarify, in fact, as a matter of fact. Also, with these words, don't use a semicolon. It's better to use a full stop. Okay. Now, let's practice. You have 4 sentences. What I would like you to do is to try to rewrite these sentences using one of the conjunctive adverbs that we studied before. In the first sentence, you have buses can move a lot of people through crowded areas and they provide a good view of the city. I'd like you to replace the word and with any word that we studied in this course, in this video, I'm sorry. It cost a fortune to renovate our house, but it was worth it. Replace the word but with any other word. In addition to adding beauty to your yard, flowers provide food for birds and other animals. There is nothing wrong with the use of the words in addition to, but I want you to try to replace them with another word so you can just practice. Finally, technology has made our lives easier, but it has weakened the ties between the family members. Replace the word but with another word. I'll give you a few seconds to rewrite these sentences, and then I'm going to show you the answers. Okay, I will now show you the answers. You could pause the video. Okay. Let's look at the first one. Buses can move a lot of people through crowded areas and they provide a good view of the city. We could use furthermore. Buses can move a lot of people through crowded areas, semicolon, furthermore, comma, they provide a good view of the city. Okay, about the second sentence. It cost a fortune to renovate our house, but it was worth it. Okay, so apparently there are two contrasting ideas here. So we could use something like however. So we could say it cost a fortune to renovate our house. However, with a semicolon and a comma, it was worth it. Number 3, in addition to adding beauty to your yard, flowers provide food for birds and other animals. One more time, there's nothing wrong with using in addition to. I just want you to practice using different words. So you could use moreover. To do that, you're going to have to make a simple sentence. Flowers add beauty to your yard, full stop, or a semicolon if you choose to. Moreover, comma, they provide food for birds and other animals. Let's look at this last sentence. Technology has made our lives easier, but it has weakened the ties between the family members. You could use the words how on the other hand. So technology has made our lives easier, full stop, or a semicolon. On the other hand, comma, it has weakened the ties between the family members. Let's move on to another exercise. Okay, we have just 2 sentences this time. You also need to rewrite them using any of the words that we studied in this video. Number 5, reading is a good way to learn new vocabulary and it increases your knowledge. So replace the word and with any other conjunctive adverb. Profits have increased over the past months, but we're not in a strong financial position. Replace the word but. I'll give you some time to do that. Okay, time for me to show you the answers. You could pause the video, of course. Oops. Yeah, right here. Okay. So reading is a good way to learn new vocabulary and it increases your knowledge. We could use furthermore. So we could say reading is a good way to learn new vocabulary. Furthermore, it increases your knowledge. That's it. We use a semicolon or a full stop. It's all the same. We could also rewrite it using in addition. So in addition to plus the verb plus ing, in addition to being a good way to learn new vocabulary, reading increases your knowledge. Of course, there is no subject here in the first part, so we have to use the subject in the second part, and the subject is the word reading. Let's move to the next sentence. Profits have increased over the past months, but we're not in a strong financial position. So we could say profits have increased over the past months. Nevertheless, we're not in a strong financial position. Nevertheless, or however, or nonetheless, or anything like that. Okay, let's continue practicing. We have 2 more sentences right here. The meeting didn't provide any useful information. Most of the participants felt it was a waste of time. These 2 sentences are not even connected. It's up to you to choose how you're going to connect them. We don't have any linking words. You have to choose the linking words. The same goes for sentence 8. The main character is presented as brave and powerful. His best friend Oliver is described as a weak boy who lacks confidence. It's up to you to join the 2 sentences using the proper conjunctive adverb. I'll give you some time to think. Okay, now it's time for me to show you the answers. It seems that the connection between these 2 sentences here is a connection between cause and effect. The meeting didn't provide any useful information. This is the cause. Because of this, most of the participants felt it was a waste of time. So we need to use any of the words which are related to cause and effect, such as a result, consequently, therefore, and so on. When it comes to sentence 8, it seems that the connection between the 2 sentences is contrast. The main character is brave and powerful, but Oliver is weak and lacks confidence. So we have to use one of the contrasting words, like on the other hand, however, or anything like that. Let's look at the answers here. So we could say the meeting didn't provide any useful information. As a result, most of the participants felt that it was a waste of time. In this situation, the main character is presented as brave and powerful. In contrast, his best friend Oliver is described as a weak boy who lacks confidence. Let's take one more exercise before we finish this lesson. Okay, We have a paragraph, you're supposed to read it and then put one of these conjunctive adverbs in the right places. But of course, in order for you to be able to do this, you need to make sure that you understand the paragraph perfectly so you could use the correct words in the right places. Take some time to read. Now let's look at the answers. Okay. Smoking in restaurants should be banned. First of all, it seems that we are now listing the reasons why smoking should be banned. So it's normal that we would use the words first of all. When people smoke in restaurants, the smoke from their cigarettes affects other people. This smoke, called secondhand smoke, is unhealthy for others to breathe. In fact, so we're illustrating a fact, we're mentioning a fact that came from a certain report. We need to use the words in fact. A 2011 report from the Johnson Institute stated that secondhand smoke is even more dangerous than the smoke inhaled by smokers themselves. And then furthermore, because I'm proceeding to another item, I use the words furthermore. It's different from the previous item. In the first item, I was talking about the effect of secondhand smoke. And in the next item, I'm talking about something different, which is the effect of smoke on the way food tastes. Smoking negatively affects how food tastes. It has been proven that the sense of smell contributes to how people enjoy their food. However, so despite the fact that the sense of smell contributes to how people enjoy food, many restaurants ignore the simple fact, so we need to use something like the word however, and they allow their customers to smoke. As a result, governments should take measures to ensure people are allowed to smoke in restaurants. Because of the previous fact, the government needs to step in. So this is how you can use these conjunctive adverbs in the right places in this paragraph. In today's lesson, we learned how to use some conjunctive adverbs and how to place them correctly in the right places. This is a very important lesson because organizational words, as we have established before, make it easier for the reader to understand what you're trying to say in your essay. Thank you. I hope this was a useful lesson for you, and I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Have a nice time. Goodbye.